Hello everyone and welcome to Moonride. I'm Dave Johnson and I'm channeling the Man of the Moon along with perhaps some other powers. I am here today to talk about January 6th. As I'm watching this unfold, it looks like this really is what we've been waiting for. A lot of people are going to be held accountable. It looks pretty much like there was a planned insurrection. It was not spontaneous. So I just want to ask Spirit if this is indeed what I think it is, and who the heroes are, and what's going to happen. So, first of all, is this the smoking gun, Spirit? Okay, don't forget, Spirit always has a sense of humor. Okay, so now I'm seeing something like the, character from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, like a cowboy Ted guy rise, and it's like this really is like the OK Corral. It's like it is the big event. That's the feeling that I get. It does have a lot to do with America. And remember, these questions have been simmering for years, even before Nixon, you might say, these questions of what is America, what's democracy, and also, honestly, the leaders that we've chosen are not doing very well, or until now they haven't done very well, of keeping our democracy in balance. They haven't had the courage to do the right thing in a lot of situations. This is left and right. So there is a positive here, and that is the situation got so bad that even, Liz Cheney and, is it Ratzinger? Even they have finally moved their position here. So, January 6th might look like a terrible thing, but in a way, it is causing all of this reform and cleanup. It is making people hold other people accountable. Liz Cheney certainly didn't do that beforehand. And I gotta say, I can't stop seeing Liz Cheney's face and thinking, wow, she really changed. I never would have believed that that she would vindicate herself in any way. It is, I think, to some degree, many people have seen that there is a woman that brings them down. I don't think it is a woman. I think that many women, especially women, there's some great guys in here too, but lots of the people who've done the real action are women, right? So let's give Liz Cheney some credit, even if I don't agree with her always. Let's give lots of people, and especially women, some credit for doing this. Again, this is the challenge, but I can't help but think how important the response has been. Maybe it had to get this bad before people could stand up and say, no, I've had enough. This is wrong. This is very, very important for our culture and our society. And rather than get too upset about this, understand that this is exactly what needed to happen. And I don't justify the behaviors or the abuse or the deaths of the people who protected the Capitol at all. But in some sense, as bad as that was, meant that that had a strong reaction. Liz Cheney didn't impeach Trump twice, although she really should have. And this is just what it took to push them over the edge. And all of us. So is justice really going to be done, Spirit? I mean, even I am very cynical after all this time. Okay, it's like I'm seeing almost like it's like the tornado. Yeah, the tornado in Kentucky. Yeah, it's, again, I don't want to justify anything that the universe has sent, because that's not my business. But, if we can think of the tornado as a symbolic thing, or tornado is going to go through Washington. And that's what I see. It's going to pick up everything along its way. We're going to find out who did the right thing, who did the wrong things. There is no putting this back into the bag. So once this stuff comes out, even if the Republicans win the next, election, they cannot put this stuff away. It'll go from them to juries. It'll go to criminal prosecutions. Well, Spirit, are we really going to get criminal prosecutions? Again, I'm cynical. Yeah, I'm seeing Meadows, and he's looking really downcast. He's looking like a sad little boy who's made a big mistake and lost all his friends. Well, Meadows, are you going to tell the truth? He's going like this. He's stamping his foot. He's just like, I don't want to tell the truth, like a little kid. Well, okay. But are you going to tell the truth ultimately? He's crying. He's turning away from me and crying. And he's kind of saying, I can't tell the truth. Well, why not, Mr. Meadows? He says, because it would be really, really bad for me. He's kind of going, I could go to jail, or I could tell the truth. He says they're both going to be really, really bad. And when he says that, he means it is life-threatening. If he tells the truth, his life will be put at risk. So, well, what are you going to do? There's a line which he's considering crossing. Ultimately, he may do so. It's not certain, but it's, I would say, probable. I see the line that he's considering crossing. I don't know whether that means will he testify or will he not testify truthfully? Will he testify truthfully? It's kind of like, I think he's still going to try to get away with what he can. He foolishly tried to get away with supplying information and then not answering the questions, and that was a huge error. Yeah, he's not very smart. That's the problem with him. So, I have to say, I think he might choose jail. He is that wavering. He's going to try to keep playing the middle. I understand you kind of tell the truth, just tell enough, play games with it, etc., etc. In a way, this is a perfect torture for him because he's going to be worried. Whatever he does, he's going to be worried about one side or the other, taking him down. And I mean, we're talking life and death here. That's how important this is for him in his mind. He's like, yeah, and I could also go to prison, and who knows what might happen to me in prison. I can't control that. So he's really very, very worried. Anybody else? Yes, Jim Jordan is also very worried. And I say it again, Jim Jordan made a deal with Trump. He participated in this coup. He made a deal. He was going to be somebody really important. Basically, Jim Jordan was going to be the future president. That's what he believed he was going to get out of this, is he was going to be groomed to take Trump's place when he was gone. There are others who participated who are trying to hide right now. So I'm looking at Jordan's face, and he looks quite surprised that they've got evidence. Yeah, Jordan's becoming quite frantic. Is Jordan going to tell the truth? I'm going to say, of course not. Of course he's not going to tell the truth. That's the image that I see on his face. Like, are you kidding? So, Spirit, what's going to happen to Jordan? So there's a jail cell. He's outside of the cell. He's contemplating it. He's not sure what he's going to do. But the only way this man is going to speak is if he faces prison. That is the only way that he will speak. Now, it's possible that he will face prison. Because he looks like it. Yeah, he'll go to court and he won't. He'd rather go to court and face a jury trial. He's not going to say a word. Because it incriminates him. Everything that he would say would put himself in jail. So he's not going to do that. So, Spirit, who are the real heroes here? Adam Schiff. Liz Cheney is a hero. There are plenty of heroes here. There are lots of heroes here that we don't know about. These are the senators who are quietly working in a particular direction. The real progressives, they've been quite quiet in recent months, although they really haven't gotten much. The progressives, AOC, they have agreed to keep quiet to some degree in lieu of getting Biden's agenda through, in lieu of getting the country back on track. So these people are also very heroic. It's not easy being in that position. You have to bide your time and compromise, and then you get grief for it, and it's a very difficult job. There are a lot of heroes in our government right now, and I know that's hard to believe because you don't see them quietly working on TV. But they do exist. They are, really, really working diligently. So, are we going to get what we need to know out of this? And how soon, Spirit? Okay, and as you know, Al can see pyramids. The very top of this pyramid is a sort of glowing. It's like we're finishing. So that it's really interesting because the dollar bill has that unfinished pyramid on it, and it's sort of like the idea of the republic is never finished growing. And that's what I get now. It's a bigger chunk, and it's kind of glowing red, and it's on and off, and it's not so certain. But don't be too down on this. This is the continuation of our democracy. It's a wholly imperfect democracy. It doesn't treat people fairly, which is why we need to move forward and continue this difficult work on the nation. But it will work out, and it will make a big difference in the future. We don't have time today to go into all the other details of it, but I really want to know, Yeah, again, I saw what I saw many, many years ago, 4 years ago when I first started this channel, and it's a wagon, and it moves slowly to the west. I like to think of the wagon as innovation, and of course I'm very aware of the oppression that accompanied that movement of that wagon. But if we could just think of this as time moving forward, as an expansion into a sort of consciousness, even though there may have been very negative things that happened, for example, to Native American people, African American people, there is a movement forward, right? And the movement forward does include reckoning with what America has done wrong. But I do see that this is not fast. It just happens bit by bit by bit. The self-creation. America is not over. Our nation is not finished. Trump did not mark the end of our democracy. He marked a moment of reform, of intense, needful reform. And that's one reason why Trump was there. Get people invested enough in their own nation to take their power. And I'm glad to see that a lot of you have. A lot of people have. Most of the viewers have taken your power. You went out and voted. You made coalitions with people. You tried to persuade people. And you went through it for 4 years. It was not an easy process. So don't hesitate to pat yourself on the back and thank yourself for being patient, for being diligent, for seeing the truth, and for not going totally, utterly crazy over the past few years. Give yourself a big pat on the back. The universe is changing. One of the things that's happened is that all of us are changing. It could be, and it seems to be, in a positive direction. Thanks so much.